Alright.
Let's start with. We'll just go in order. Let's start with Jesse. You don't mind, Jax? He's dead. Confirmed.
No.
Yep.
No.
No bennies. Yeah, Damascus, you can go ahead and...
Okay, I am playing Tarkus, who is a basically he's recently become a mercenary after taking part in a failed revolution, and he is an arrogant motherfucker who sustained some injuries and is now a cyborg.
As you do.
Yeah, as you do. So basically, he's on. If we already met, he's on the ship, like doing the heavy lifting, and also acts as a sort of Sabutia infiltration kind of guy for those nitty gritty sort of ground missions and stuff. So yeah, that's moi.
Cool. What are your edges and hindrances?
Oh, okay, let's just load this up very quickly, just so I can get the details. My edge is I only have one edge, which is cyborg, which is freaking sweet. So basically, if you want a cybernetic enhancement, you get this sort of strain limit placed upon you. But if you have the cyborg edge, you basically get that doubled. So over the long run, I can get loads and loads of lovely little advances. So that's my only edge.
All very expensive.
Yes, yeah, it's all like $500 at least, and that's what we start out with. And with the hindrances, I have got arrogant. So he's always got to be trying to prove that he is the best in the whole universe. And I've got one eye.
Universe is a pretty big place.
Yep. He's just going to be the best in everything. And basically, his one eye hindrance, he lost it due to lost his left eye due to a gunshot. And basically, I have to have -2 to any rolls that require sense of depth perception, such as shooting and throwing. So yeah.
What does your guy look like?
An anime character.
He's gonna stick out like a sore thumb.
It's
Yeah.
2D.
Yes.
The 3D world. Everyone is just like, they don't understand.
Don't worry, I'll be 2D as well, but only in terms of personality.
Okay.
Oh wait, I forgot to rename my character in game. I accidentally only did it to the portrait.
Yeah, it's
Let me
cool.
redo that.
You can do it at any point, really.
Yeah.
Just adding all of your default tokens. Okay, Lintz.
Okay, I'm playing Richard Lone Stag Tomaz, who is a hotshot ace pilot who basically was out of a job, and then you found him, and then he's now your pilot. Job done.
But
He's mysterious.
what does he look like?
He's a stick basically. He's really abnormally thin.
Is he tall too?
Yeah, tall, thin.
So he's probably from like a kind of a low gravity world.
Well, he's from APEP Prime.
That was
Okay, so
medium gravity,
never mind.
if memory serves.
He's thin.
He could be
because
from a
he's
moon
anemic.
if you want.
He's anemic.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
So he's just really skinny. What are his edges and hindrances?
So he's small. He has bad eyes. So he wears glasses, and he's anemic. But he's also an ace pilot. So
I'm
There you
imagining Joker for some reason.
I'm not gonna lie. I did have a Joker sort of in mind.
That's not a bad influence.
Anything else?
Oh, he's a pilot. Does he specialize in anything else? Oh, he's gambler, right? Too.
He has gambling as a skill.
Yes, so he's a gambler. Okay.
Oh, actually, no, I took that off because I swapped it for knowledge navigation.
You don't have to do that. I mean, if you don't want to. If you think gambling would be better.
Well, I mean, I grabbed it because I thought it would be a bit of a, like, as a joke.
You'll definitely
Like,
make use of it if you have it. I promise that.
I've got streetwise, though.
Okay, so you have astrogation then? Or not
Knowledge.
astrogation,
Knowledge navigation.
navigation, yeah. Okay, clown guy.
All right, so I'm playing as a clown that you guys accidentally smuggled into your ship, and I was supposed to go to a local birthday party, and I ended up recruiting to your party because I ended up realizing that it paid better, and it was less humiliating.
Amazing.
What do you look like?
I look like a clown with a bald cap on, an orange wig, red clown nose.
You're not gonna
What
take
thing-
that stuff off now that you don't have to be a clown.
I think he only keeps it because it's his only pair of clothes.
Okay, first stop on the way, a clothing shop. It's too bad we're all dirt poor.
What about what is he good at?
He is me looking at the character sheet.
And what are his edges and hindrances?
The only thing I remember is he's more intelligent than my character.
He's curious, so he looks into a whole bunch of shit that seems out of the ordinary.
Of course.
Quirky, he usually tries to use his knowledge of doing clowny shit by, like, say for an example, possibly juggling things because he can. And he has a phobia of anything that has more legs or less legs than a human.
Including like cows and shit.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You've just opened up a whole world of hurt.
You said that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm reiterating
It's so
it.
true. What's in Savage Worlds? What's the role to resist like fear and stuff?
They do have guts rules, but a fear check I guess would just be a spirit roll in this case.
That makes sense.
Double check.
I actually
for you.
I think I have a high spirit, actually.
That would help. That would really help.
Yeah, I have a D8 for spirit.
Well, hey, at least you're not afraid of like low gravity and stuff. That'd be even worse.
Originally, I was tempted to go with being afraid of androids.
That would be funny.
That would lead to some good party drama. I think all of us have 2 legs.
Okay, who am I missing?
Well, I think Austin got back.
Oh, are you back?
Uh,
here.
Okay.
I actually have 2 edges because I used one of those. Makes it so you can have another edge if
Oh,
you
you
sacrifice.
use one of your
it.
hindrances. To
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
another edge. Yeah, I did the same.
Yeah, you can get up to 3 total.
Yeah, I have charismatic and lucky.
So you get 4 bennies at the start of the game instead of 3.
What is the keyboard shortcut for adding people to turn order? Is there one?
Couldn't tell you. I just fucking right click
Control
on
U.
tokens.
Control U.
Yeah.
That'd be quite handy for us.
Yeah. Now to never make use of that knowledge.
Can you guys see the turn order and the names and everything?
I can only see
No.
turn order, but not names.
It's
Can you see
empty.
the pictures?
Nope, it's empty.
Oh yeah, Snaker, are you gonna record this?
I already am recording.
Oh.
Pretty much what we said. If we're going to introduce our characters, I figure it's good to
Yeah,
have.
that's usually when we start. Okay, Austin, your turn.
Alright, I am Jesse. He is approximately 6 foot tall, kind of middle aged, very broad shoulders, shaggy head, shaggy hair. He is a engineer off of one of the ice worlds. I forget which one right now, but yeah, he's from an ice world.
Cool.
Yep. Let's see. He's primarily a mechanic. He's really good at fixing things, but also he's got a good knowledge of engineering and computers. He's kind of standoffish. Like, he's the type of guy you won't see walking around on the ship. He'll just appear in, like, a maintenance tunnel and then disappear and reappear in another maintenance tunnel. Yeah. And let's see. For edges and hindrances, he is majorly delusional. So, like, he probably thinks Muggerin's clown nose is his real nose.
What is his what's his major delusion, like his main delusion?
Oh no, there isn't going to be a like single main delusion.
Okay.
They're just going to come up as I think of them. Other than that, he is stubborn, and he smokes a lot. So if you're like trying to convince him that Muggerin's nose is not his real nose, he's going to think that you are completely out of your mind. Let's see, and so I got edges. He is brawny, so he's like big, tough, can carry a lot of stuff. But he's also got linguist, so he speaks a ton of languages. And given a role, he can actually learn any language for a week.
Thanks, son.
Only a week though.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that's like, oh, I'm going to talk to this guy for 5 minutes. Oh, let me roll. Okay, I now perfectly understand his language.
The guy with the major delusion is our interpreter.
Your interpreter, your engineer, and your computer expert.
Can you see the turn order now?
Nope.
No, there's nothing in it.
Maybe you have to. Do you have to be able to see the layer that the tokens are on?
Are they on the
Probably.
GM layer?
No, they're just on a layer, like a different layer. I'll try.
In a different tab or what?
Yeah, they're in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're in a different.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd
Yeah,
have to
we-
be on that tab.
I still can't see the turn order actually. Oh,
Oh,
now-
yeah, no.
Yep.
You can see it now.
Yeah, tokens have to be on the same tab.
That's annoying.
You just no. What you do is you put them on the GM layer.
Does that
well,
work?
We can't. It should. We can't see them then.
Actually, I know from experience that if you put them on the GM layer, I don't believe the players can see them.
Oh.
That's running.
So we actually have to be able to see the tokens.
Okay, I'll just put them like at the bottom of the star map one, so that they're there.
I love how fitting Toby is for your character.
Okay.
God lends you in the anime. Always so anime.
Okay,
Yes.
tell me if
I'm not
this-
the anime this time.
Yeah.
Tell me if
No,
this
Oh,
good
okay.
updates for you guys.
Yeah, we're on the star map right now.
Can you see the card suits in the turn order?
Card suits.
See cards, but don't see the turn order.
Yeah.
I see the two little action cards.
Yeah.
Well, turn order's blank.
Okay, I just got to. I copy and pasted the tokens over, so it probably applied it to the other ones. Let me just.
Oh, I should also mention he's always carrying around a toolbox. He's got a light pistol on his hip, along with what looks like some sort of body armor underneath his clothing.
Let me look at my gear really quick, just so I remember. Okay, my gear is I have
Oh,
a
yeah,
pistol.
an ace.
Oh
my-
yeah.
My
Okay,
gear
cool,
is that
so-
I have a-
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, my gear is that I have a pistol, a hoverboard, 2 energy packs for the pistol, and 2 Nutribars in my pocket.
Delicious.
Delicious cardboard.
How long have those Nutribars been with you?
I think I just bought them, like before getting on there.
I was gonna say they should be like several years old.
Well, I wanted to say I was like getting inside of a box to go to a birthday party. I have to have something to eat.
Oh, of course.
He's a prepared clown.
I love that you can like box select things and then just hit Control U to add the whole stack. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
This is
Okay.
a lovely bit of knowledge.
Okay, it's pretty overwhelming knowing that I'm the first person to go.
Oh no, that's not.
Oh, he
just-
hasn't
I
added
just-
the cards yet.
Yeah, we're not rolling the initiative right now or anything. I was just getting it set up.
That's initiative only matters in combat. The rest you just go whenever if you
Well-
want to do something, you say it.
It's not just combat. It's anytime there's like a time issue and I need to like have you guys go in a certain order.
That's
That's when you do it initiative. But it's mostly combat. Okay, so it is the year 2499. So like 500 years in the future. It's a kind of an alternate history where microcomputing isn't as well developed, so there's still like CRT monitors and like huge bulky computers, and memory is gigantic. So your ship is pretty large. It's like imagine 4 18-wheelers set in diagonals to each other, so it's like this huge, like long, bulky thing. The cockpit is imagine like a 747, but longer and with more switches, and it has like an offshoot room where the AI is, and the AI room is just this giant blinking display with a CRT in the middle.
Huh.
You're currently above the. Let me get my planet list out. Actually, you're currently above in the IRA system. Where the fuck did I put it?
Okay,
0508.
508. Okay, so
If you look at the star map, you'll see like
Danab.
a blue thing that shows where you are.
Yeah.
It also shows the date on the right.
Yeah. So yeah, actually, my character is from the planet Eldanab anyway. So
Yeah, I'm from
I
Aldenab
believe-
as well.
Yeah, you guys are both from Aldenab. You're currently in geosynchronous orbit above the capital city, which is called Thrask. It is December 31st, 2499. So it's New Year's Eve, and you've been in a week's long journey from APEP Prime, and you're currently shipping some dihydrogen monoxide in solid form to Alphanat, which is a desert world. So it's a pretty good commodity for a ship like yours to trade in ice. Unfortunately, due to some faulty navigation and stuff, you arrived a couple of days late, and a lot of the infrastructure on the city is shut down at the moment due to celebrations to the New Year's. So you're stuck in orbit on New Year's Eve, and you're pretty bummed out about it. You're in the kitchen area of your ship, sitting around a table, doing your thing, drinking beer, whatever.
I'd pop a bottle of champagne and then just drink from the bottle.
It's
Right
really cheap champagne. It's like
Right.
it's like really new.
Right now in real life, I'm actually eating these goldfish chip things, like the orange ones. So I like to imagine the clown is also doing that.
Oh, absolutely. It's always canon that what you're snacking on is what you're snacking on in the game.
So
I look
I'm just
over at
drinking Guinness in the ship then to survive.
I look over at Mugger and I say, those were once real fish, right?
Well,
Wow.
I'm just,
He's not very perturbed about it.
I just
Throwing it out there.
turn and I look at the analog clock that I brought with me. I see it strikes the hour, and I just honk the clown horn that I stole from Muggerand. Thank you.
Oh God! What? Jesus Christ! You're gonna wake up the bird.
Son
that
of a
wasn't me.
beast.
I know it wasn't you. Has Clown Guy not met the bird yet?
He knows about the fucking bird.
I'm very aware of the bird.
Anyway, I should mention the aesthetic of the room is it's very like safe by 80s terms. Like there's a bunch of like balloon material on, not balloon, but it's like God,
You're talking about
what-
big plasticky tubes, like
Yeah.
air tubes, just like
You're talking
Yeah,
about
it's like a
90s
padded,
kind of style.
Yeah, right. It's lots of fluorescent lighting that hurts your eyes if you look directly at it. You've got, not too far from you, a bunch of dispensers that dispense like oat grains and things like that. And that's what you normally subsist on. It's not too tasty, but it gets you by. Normally, the spacer life like yours, you kind of look forward to stopping somewhere and sleeping somewhere else, because you guys sleep all in this dormitory that's really cramped. The only one of you that has its own quarters is what's your name? Tony. Tony's
I am the only one in my own quarters. I'm the doctor, so I probably just sleep on a fucking medical bed.
Captain Quinn is the only one who has his own quarters, and even that is like super cramped. It's like submarine quarters. It's like maybe 5 feet long and 3 feet wide. So most of your feet just hang over the side.
I'm from Aldenab as well, from a really small commune village, and when I heard stories about spacefaring, it was always big heroic captains from the early days of space travel. So I always imagined big, luxurious, kind of like captain's quarters, and then I lease on this ship, and I'm on just some fucking awful metal sprung shit.
And there's all kinds of like science fiction media and stuff. Like Star Wars is still a thing, Star Trek is still a thing, and for a lot of people, that's all they know about, spaceships and stuff. It's not that glamorous. It's basically like being in a cross between a big truck and a submarine. Like it's awful to live in.
Does this mean at some point we're going to encounter some a crew of nerds that tried recreating a Star Wars fleet?
Oh shit!
I've had ideas about things like that.
Oh god.
This is my anime Star Destroyer.
That means that in this universe, someone must have tried to take a Millennium Falcon up against an Enterprise.
Yes!
Someone
A bunch of really rich, dedicated nerds.
Someone tried to make a Death Star.
So you don't have TVs on your ship or anything like that. You have one big ass monitor, like bulky CRT monitor in the kitchen area that's above you, and it currently has some news bulletins and things, and it has a countdown that's going down from 100 to 1 for the New Year's.
By the way, are we in the year 2499 at the moment, or 2500?
2499 at the moment.
Okay, bringing in another lousy century.
Yep.
Party like it's the 90s.
Oh, God.
And there's all kinds of stories about, this time 500 years ago and stuff like that. And, it has, Y2K things and stuff like that.
I turn it off and put on a rerun of Futurama.
But again, it's not like a television broadcast of, a news reporter and stuff. It's just, a series of boxes with text on them that you can scroll through.
Amazing. A bad Wikipedia sort of thing.
I hope we have teletext.
Oh god!
It's barely a GUI operating system. It's terrible, and it's hard to navigate. And the only one who really can navigate it very well is Jesse, which I'm assuming is what he's doing at the moment.
Nope, not even bothering.
What are you doing at the moment?
Currently, I have my
what are you all doing at the moment?
Well, an hour ago, I fucking handed Jesse a data slate telling him to get on fixing the goddamn ship so we can get into orbit.
Oh, you don't have data slates. You just have, notepads and, clipboards and things.
Okay, so it's not big, bulky, kind of
do we also have space pens?
You actually just gave him a sticky note.
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot of
I've
things
been
are
putting
just
fucking
paper
sticky
and
notes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just gave him a note just telling him fix the goddamn ship so we can land.
There's sticky notes. Speaking of sticky notes, there are sticky notes on everything. Just notes for different things that you've done. Fix this. Shop.
You don't even know what the actual color of the interior is.
There's a list that's chores, a chore schedule. Today's loaned stags. He needs to do the laundry and things like that. And who's on kitchen duty and stuff like that.
I'm typically pretty laid back, but we're all sitting at this fucking table, and I'm staring daggers at Jesse to get on with fixing it because I just want to land on the planet and move on to the next job.
I take this sticky note, fold it into an airplane, and gently toss it at you, and say that there's nothing wrong with the damn plane. We're just stuck up here due to celebrations.
The note gets sucked up into the life support system.
That's a really tiny little airplane.
Oh god.
Speaking of which, I forgot the ambience.
Oh,
yeah, it's a super tiny little plane.
I just get up and I just take my champagne and Guinness with me and just go, the sooner we're on that planet, the better. You've got until next year to sort it out.
I light a cigarette with my welding torch and put my fingers up to my ear and just kind of zone out.
Oh, I should mention when you arrived to the planet and you were a couple of days late, you tried to get in contact with customs to get a landing, like to get approval to land, but you just got an automatic message saying that they're out of office hours until after New Year's, so you're just stuck here.
Fuck it, we'll
That's
find
some really
a small...
That's some really poor customer service.
Well, welcome to
this is why
Aldenet.
we tried to overthrow the monarchy.
Welcome to
Of
Planet
course,
Thrask.
I just look at him and say, you were involved in that uprising?
Yes. Yes,
Oh.
I was.
I was healing up government soldiers that you shot. Good times, good times.
Good times.
Yes, of course. Of course, the rest of the team all failed in their jobs miserably. I was the one keeping up the bloody thing. And then, of course, I heroically and accidentally stepped on a landmine and got shot.
So, you two know about this because you're from Aldenet, but it's run by the Denabi royal family, which has like this totalitarian grip on most of the planet, especially Thrask, the capital city, and but there are a lot of splinter cell like rebel groups and things that are trying to take it back, mostly unsuccessfully. A lot of it is just like terrorist acts and like car bombing and that kind of thing.
So they're pretty much like a combination of the Half-Life 2 rebels and guys from Al Qaeda.
Right. Well, some of them are, car bombers and things. Some of them are actually like they want Aldenav for Aldenabi people.
And I was a officially licensed doctor up until it came out that I was a psionic, at which point my medical practice sort of dried up.
Tarkus, what did you do on Aldenab before you?
Well, basically, I was like what's the word? I was basically a soldier for the government, but I turned against them and took part in the uprising. And basically, since our side, by most accounts, lost, basically he's kind of like dried up all his contacts and everything like that, and sort of cut himself loose.
Have you been back to the system since then?
No, this will be the first time.
Okay, it's probably been a while, like a few years for both of you.
Yeah.
You've lived on APEP Prime for a while, and that's the place where you got your lease from Pan Galactic Shipping (PGS), which is a big shipping monopoly in this area of space. Who designs and sells starships to people like you on like huge, like high interest loans. You owe $25 million to this corporation, which you're planned to pay in installments like monthly.
So I'm just thinking every month we squirrel away like 50% of our earnings towards this.
Yeah, and actually it has you on edge right now because you're shipping ice and it's currently melting while you can't do anything with it. And that's like, you can sell water here and that will be, more than you paid for it. But
these fucking rich people need their cold drinks.
yeah.
Not only is it a cold drink, it's probably fresh water too.
Yeah. I mean, they're not. They're like the royal family is fairly rich, but the rest of the planet is not so well off. A shipment of ice will probably go to the rich. A shipment of water will probably go to just anyone.
Revolution.
I just kind of like start just browsing. Well, I start trying to get Jesse to browse through channels for me to see if there's anything vaguely interesting.
No, I just have my two fingers like holding something in my ear, and I have a completely blank stare on my face.
Oh, okay, well, it's time to bust out the fucking psionic powers then. Oh,
the GM just went away.
yeah, I'll just give it a sec.
I like to think my clan decided to go to one of the clinics of one of the guys that got shot recently, and that political war, and the guy got both of his arms shut off.
Okay, I'm
Or-
sorry about that.
Okay, so Jesse's
What I missed?
ignoring. As Jesse is ignoring me, I'm gonna use elemental manipulation.
What are you doing?
Elemental manipulation.
On what?
I'm going to spawn a pint of water above Jesse's head.
All right.
Just because I
make
want
a-
him to pay attention to me right now.
Is that something you can just do, or do you have to make a roll for that?
I think I'll have to make a roll to will because it is a psionic power.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna.
Yep. Do your thing.
And this will also give me a chance to just show off rolling in this. So. Oh, 5 barely succeeds, and I'm gonna roll my wild dice. See if I get any better.
Oh no, it does it automatically when you do it from the character sheet.
It doesn't, oddly enough.
No, it does. If you have it selected, if you go to your character sheet and Tony Quinn character sheet, at the top you'll see wild die D6.
Oh, okay, so it does automatically do the wild dice for me.
Yeah, I've tested it a few times.
Okay then, so I hit 5, so I just barely succeeded.
Like I've done rolls with a D2 while I have like a D10 wild die, and I've noticed that it does a D10 a lot of times.
Alright.
So I know for sure that it works.
So yeah, pint of water above Jesse's head.
So if you see a 1, then you know that you rolled snake eyes.
Oh shit. Alright.
Yeah. What do you do? Does it just appear, or do you wave your hands or something?
Yeah, my kind of trapping with this power is I kind of have to stare at the area for a split second, then just do a wave of my hand and water appears.
Okay, so
It's quite a theatric motion.
For some
As-
reason, I was kind of imagining like you doing some kind of weird water belly dance.
You would see it coming then.
he does this motion with his hand, and then you feel like this gathering humidity above you for like half a second, and then all of a sudden just a splash as water just covers you. And apparently they all know that you're psychic already.
I'm actually casual around the crew about this. I figure we're space smugglers of a kind, so they're not going to be too
Right.
judgmental.
Have you guys already done some like not so above board jobs together?
How long have we been smuggling for, would you say? Not smuggling, but how long have we had the ship for, would you say?
You've probably paid off a couple of months payment at this point. Mostly you haven't left the APEP system, like you've just been doing inner system stuff.
I'm going to say I was a stranger to the whole group before, like, I just put my name to the lease because I needed to get off. I needed a fresh start, and then I just got to know them over the months. So we've done some jobs.
I should mention that you, as a psychic, had to register with when you're living at APEP Prime. It's one of those, like, a lot of systems. Their government requires that psychics register, like, with all their powers and things.
Well, yeah, not to mention I need a drug, otherwise I go insane.
Right, and that counted against you a lot for the lease. In addition to the fact that you don't know very much about navigation and you don't have piloting, so you had to have
Spice must flow.
you had to have a couple of people like co-sign your lease, and those were what is your Richard and Jesse both had to co-sign the loan, but you're still in like primary ownership. You have to make the payments. You dole out salary to the crew and all that. Okay, so you're all just sitting there drinking. It's New Year's. It's counting down. You know, it gets to 0, and then you all cheer, or you know, whatever it is that you do.
It's all like a mild murmur, like
Yeah, you
So-
kind of clink drinks together, all that kind of stuff.
I'm soaked
I
at
think
the
I'm
moment, right?
probably already asleep.
Yeah, you are soaked.
I just kind of raise a toast and say, and on this day, 2 years ago, I lost my job because people are pricks.
And I look back at him and I say, "You're one as well." And then I just lift my
Water
glass up.
drips.
And after that, I honk my bike horn.
And I just turn and look at Muggerand and say, how the fuck did you even get on here? I keep forgetting.
Do you have a bike horn, or you just have a button that you're pressing?
No, I have a real one.
What?
Oh my god.
Amazing.
I thought that was a fucking button this whole time.
No, it's a real one.
I figured it was a real one at first, but then it just sounded so similar to the first time you did it.
Like, you don't know Lawley like I do. He's been doing that for a while. All this time I've been assuming it was a button.
Clowns terrify me, I should mention.
No, clunes terrify you.
Okay, so what do you guys do after the countdown when you're well drunk?
I'm still just kind of looking at the TV and eating goldfish.
I am trying to throw up oranges in midair and slice them in half with my arm blade.
The orange slowly lifts up and slowly lifts back down. Jesse, you have the thought that the gravity gen, which is a ring that circles around your ship constantly, is on the fritz again, but you don't mention it.
Hell no.
Because you'll have to fix it.
I just I begrudgingly stand up and then like space hop down the corridor to just go like dry myself off.
Okay. Like I said, you guys sleep in the same area except for.
I sleep in the cockpit.
Okay,
My
but
back is completely
you do have
flat.
a bed with theirs, but you probably do sleep in your chair. It's more comfortable anyway, and you have more room. The cockpit also it has seats for everyone. It has 2 seats at the front, which have buttons and things all over it, and then 3 seats a little bit directly behind that, where you can view out of the primary viewport and all that.
I kind of retire drunkenly to anywhere I can make communication with the planet, and I just get online and start waiting for someone.
Yeah,
fucking
you've got
to pick up.
You've got a waiting, like some pop song that's really hot right now. Instrumental version of it plays because they don't have the full rights to it.
You hear do 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 do.
Gradually
Yeah.
getting angrier in slow motion.
And it just goes on loop for like hours. God, what was I gonna say? What is the name of your ship, by the way?
The Enterprise.
Okay, so it's a cargo vessel, so it's got to be like
The Swallow or Magpie. Or...
no. I'm trying to think of the Magpie will work, or what's the big fucking birds with the giant mouths?
Pelicans?
Pelican?
Yeah.
Well,
it's-
there's already ships like that because there's like Halo.
Yep.
exactly.
Pelican
This is the
carrier.
Pelican.
We'll say it's a Pelican model ship.
Pelican model. Name. I just saw my crew and I named it the Dodo.
Okay,
There we go.
the Dodo.
Yes, perfect.
Flightless
I like it.
bird.
What's the name of your AI?
Hex.
Greg.
That's Reagan.
No,
No,
it's
it's
gotta be
Greg.
Hex.
I had a good one in my head and now I lost
I
it.
just call it that thing when I'm talking to Jesse. Because I don't understand AIs.
No, none of you understand it except for Jesse, and he only slightly understands it.
Hal.
Well, that's just
Oh, it
tempting
is.
fate.
He only understands it from the sense that he knows how to communicate to it. He does not understand how it works at all.
All I know is I just gotta like pull this lever and press that button, and then things start moving around.
Your ship is or your AI is what handles all of the like small things that have to constantly be adjusted, like your life support, your oxygen pressure levels, your and also like advanced mathematics, like your navigation and stuff like that. And essentially, like it's a little bit more complicated with this, but essentially you type in a question or like a query to it, and you wait for a few moments while it cycles, and it spits out a paper that like you can read off of that gives you an answer.
Amazing.
So have you been reading the final question?
The final question?
The last question, that Isaac Asimov story.
Oh, I've read it, but I haven't been reading it.
And I'll be honest, I'm kind of disappointed in the AI. I was hoping he would have the Half-Life 1 Vox voice.
There are some AI that have primitive like text to speech, but yours is not. Maybe get an upgrade for it. But even the ones on capital ships aren't much better than like Microsoft SAM.
We need to upgrade it so I can communicate to it through my comlink.
Oh wait, I didn't buy a comlink. Are you the only one with a comlink?
I have a comlink.
Okay, you two were clever.
Yeah, the only things I bought were fucking hoverboard and a gun.
Comlink.
I'll buy
I
one
imagine
next
that it's
time
this
we plan
big like
inside.
brick. Imagine that the comlink is this big brick like cell phone thing that's also a calculator.
Nice.
Unless the book mentions that it can do a bunch of things.
Can it?
Let's see, where is it? Gear.
Personal equipment.
Let's see.
Yes. Wait, no.
Is it in the sci-fi companion?
This is-
Yeah, it's sci-fi.
What page is it on?
14.
I've got
There
it.
it is.
Well, it is up to your discretion whether it does more or less.
I have it, guys.
No, that sounds about right. It's
Oh.
just it's kind of large. Like it's hard to hide it. You usually like wear it on your belt or something.
Yep.
The internet. Well, actually, this should be like more of an extranet, but it's called the grid, and it's run by this series of satellites that's in almost every grid of space on the star map. It's very slow. You don't have. There's nothing like Wikipedia.
I just load up my Encarta 95 whenever I want to know something.
There's no such thing really as like free information. Everything is from private like news source, and you have to pay to get pretty much anything out of it. And the main problem with it is that it's so competitive that there's so much information that it's hard just to like parse all of it and get things that are useful.
It must be hard. It must be hard for people to try and download space porn. It must take like a week to
Oh,
download like a JPEG.
Absolutely. Unless you pay top dollar for space porn, you're not gonna.
This is like back in the Napster days where
It's
you
really
see
hard
the
to pirate
upload.
stuff.
It's like where you have to go like into a shady place behind the school and buy a VHS from like a kid.
And not only that,
Also,
but if
whenever
you got
guys
it,
are using the internet, my phone line gets cut off. And I'm trying to call the planet.
56k modem.
even if you did manage to get space porn, it'd be hard to watch it because the only access you have to the grid is this big ass machine that's in your cockpit. Big,
Which
big,
can only be viewed
communication
on that
center.
monitor in the fucking kitchen, I'm guessing.
So maybe Richard occasionally gets to watch space porn because that's where he sleeps, but everybody else, you're pretty deprived. You have magazines.
So let's see. Yeah, I go turn the gravity off.
You turn it off completely?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
I'm just standing
You guys
next
are
to
sitting-
the phone, and I just start levitating without noticing.
Yeah, everything just starts lifting up. You guys that are in the breakfast area, your food, your drinks, everything lifts up.
I wouldn't start lifting unless it was moving prior.
All my goldfish are flying across the
No,
room now.
Oh,
everything would lift off from where it was sitting, just because of fuck. I forget
Oh,
what
right,
it's
because
called.
we're orbiting, right?
Yeah, but that wouldn't affect
but
it.
everything is moving at the same time. What it is
Right.
is like elastic tension.
It's just drift. Yeah, everything just slowly drifts apart. Things.
Perfect.
As things bump, they bump off of things.
It's the potential energy because gravity has things pressing against. They have an equal amount.
That's
of,
why astronauts
right,
have
yeah,
to,
yeah.
to like buckle everything
equal
down.
amount of force applied against the table.
So yeah, that happens.
Table, blah 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 blah.
You
Basically,
just-
no gravity. That force emits,
You just
etc.
hear a yell from the other side of the ship, just me yelling, Jesse!
Oh, you do have there are airlocks on the doors that you can hit like a button on the side and it like hisses down and shuts off compartments. And next to that, it like at regular intervals is a button to talk on the ship's communications, just like a ham radio that's connected throughout the station.
Well, you hear the yell of Jesse, and then I hit the communicator.
Let's see. If you guys are still in the break room, you just see me kind of floating. I'm laying on my back, and I've got like this giant radio in my hand up to my ear, and I'm just like floating down the hallway.
No
What do you
problem
say
at
over the
all.
comms?
Oh no, I'm not saying anything.
Not you,
Oh.
Quinn, Captain Quinn.
I'm just yelling Jesse, waiting to get a response.
You get none.
God damn it.
He's at his usual shenanigans of turning off the gravity.
This happens
more comfortable
every
that way.
Week.
I can't sleep on solid surfaces.
The problem is that you need the gravity over long distances, otherwise your bones and stuff start to decay. It's pretty bad. It's the reason that Lone Stag is so thin.
I just reach into my pocket. I just get this kind of small metal capsule, pop a tablet from it, my fucking psionic meds, and something for the stress.
How often do you take those, by the way?
I'm gonna say once every day. Like, around 2 days, my mental state starts deteriorating. At 3 days, I'm pretty fucking paranoid, and I randomly fucking explode with psionic energy. So it gets bad pretty fast.
I need to look up what the disease is called. It's the whole like psionics have like a disease thing is a stars without numbers concept,
Oh, okay.
like fluff.
I feel-
And I need to look it up, like what it's called and things. It's actually pretty cool.
It's like MES, isn't it?
MES, that's it. I don't remember what it stands for, but it's called MES. And he has to take drugs every day or his latent psychic abilities act up. In his case, because he can read minds, he gets like blistering migraines that just completely incapacitate him as like voices come into his head and stuff.
Well, I also
But,
shoot out bursts of like small fiery energy to hurt people, so yeah, I just start letting those off as well, apropos of nothing.
Yeah, I
You
imagine
basically
that
turn into
sweat,
Cyclops.
like you sweat and like smoke comes out of your skin and stuff like that. It's pretty awful. It's very painful for you.
And like I said, mental state goes down the fucking drain, so I become incredibly paranoid, very irritable.
Do the drugs have any side effects?
I'm gonna say occasionally nausea and fatigue, but I seem to be doing pretty well lately.
Okay.
Like I have bad spells once in a while, but right now the only problem is I'm mixing these with alcohol, which isn't having too much of an effect because lately I've been used to that.
So what is your plan for the night? You guys just gonna sleep, or are you gonna do anything?
I'm just staying on the phone with the fucking docking commission until they answer.
Right now, my character is still trying to eat goldfish, but because the gravity's off, they're starting to float out of the bowl.
Are you like swimming after them?
Yes.
I'm just gonna float down the hallway listening to my comlink
Are you listening
until
to
I fall
music,
asleep.
or
No.
what are you listening to on your comlink?
I'm listening to one of my favorite telenovelas.
Excellent. It's like a radio broadcast. Cool. What is it? What is it about?
It is about a there's 3 wealthy, noble families, and it's basically the romance and political shenanigans that accompany them.
Cool.
Oh,
Part of
actually,
me was hoping it was like about the clone of Carl Pilkington.
I'm going to take some time, actually. I wait until pretty late in the night when everyone is assuredly asleep. I go and find Jesse floating, and I pretty much... Do we have a brig?
I think
no,
so.
You don't have a
Okay,
brig.
I take him to the laundry brig.
We should actually talk about your ship. I haven't drawn a map because I just want to leave it kind of open to interpretation until we've like solidified things a little bit. But off from the cabin, there's like a walkway, and if you've seen Firefly, it's like off the walkway there are ladders that go down to your crew quarters, similar to that.
Yeah.
So you walk down a flight of steps from the cockpit, and then on the left and right are ladders that lead down to the same dormitory room. That's like one room, but with a bunch of beds lined the walls, and like posters and whatever other paraphernalia that you guys have. And then a little bit further down is where Tony sleeps, which is just like a broom closet size, but still it's generally the same sleeping size that you guys have, but it has the bonus of having privacy. And then like across from that is a bathroom. Toilet is a very advanced machine for a spaceship because it has to be. And then that leads directly to the kitchen and like eatery table communal
The mess
area
hall.
where you spend most of the mess hall. That's it. And then to the left and right from there, coming from the
Or a
cockpit.
canteen.
Yeah, but it's not really a canteen. It's not very big. It's more like a kitchen with a table in the middle of it that you can sit at. Like imagine the outer walls of it are just kitchen accessories and like food storage, and then in the middle it's just a round table that you can sit around.
Have any of you guys heard of a restaurant called Pixies? Because that's what I imagine it looks like inside of there.
Can't say I have.
No idea.
I can give you guys a picture of what it looks like.
Anyway, so yeah, I just aside from alright, I put him basically down in that bathroom. I move a stack of my medical textbooks to jam the handle, and I just leave him in there. This is my petty revenge for not following orders. And then I just go back up to the comms. I pick up the phone and I still hear that fucking pop music, and I haven't been connected yet, and I just slump into a seat.
Do. Yeah.
You just occasionally hear punching sounds as I'm actually punching the console I'm in front of.
A voice runs through your head saying, "You better not break that. I have to fix that.
You have to fix loads of things.
There's nothing broken on the ship." And now you're just arguing with yourself.
I'll be right back. Just go ahead and whatever you're doing.
Okay, so yeah, I just slump into my chair, and I'm genuinely wondering if I'm hearing stuff inside my own head, or if that I don't even know. I look at the comms.
You are psychic.
I'm a psychic, but I'm not a very good one.
Oh, I should have mentioned, as you were moving me, you still heard stuff coming from my comlink. Like I fell asleep with it in my hand.
So does that pretty much mean there's like snoring going across like the entire ship?
No, I'm just kind of, casually floating with it in my hand. And then he drags me down to the bathroom, so wherever I was, yeah.
Okay, that's what your kitchen area looks like.
I just look around, realize, oh wait, I need sleep. Where's the cyborg? I want the cyborg to fucking do this for me.
And as I was saying, off from the kitchen area, you have an escape pod on the left, which is just kind of a small shuttle thing, which you can also sleep in. It's not too roomy, but it has like a small couch for people to sit on that has like emergency bars that come down to strap you in. And then on the right is a walkway down to the cargo area, which is the main back of the ship, and it's 2 stories, with the second story being just a walkway above it, like a catwalk above it. And inside it currently are just a bunch of containers with ice that's turning into water. That's what your ship looks like mainly. The back of the cargo bay is like a door that like a diagonally up door that just goes down like you land. And you have a ladder that goes down from off the main hallway where the cockpit is that goes to the weapons control, which controls your 2 heavy lasers.
Oh yeah, we got
Thank
weapons.
God for that.
Yes, they're actually pretty good.
Uh,
None of you have the skill to use them, though.
hey Tim, are
Well, it's
you...
still-
Doesn't shooting
gunnery.
doesn't shooting cover that?
I'm just kidding.
Do androids sleep?
He's not an android. He's a cyborg.
Oh, okay.
He's just
That's
a
your
huge.
Android
Android
of
stream
electric
of electric sheep.
I'm under the
Yes.
I'm under the illusion that cyborgs don't need sleep, so
He's just a human that has like a bunch of like
Yeah.
cybernetic implants
Parts.
or like.
they're all very visible too. There's nothing like small about it. It's just like patches of his skin are metal plates and things like that.
I call Tarkus into the I'm not sure where I'm doing the comms. I'm guessing it'd be in the cockpit.
Anywhere, you just like at regular intervals, you just punch a little box on the side and you lean into it and you just talk into it and it echoes throughout the ship.
Well, no, I'm communicating down to the planet.
Oh, in that case, you're in the cockpit on the communications stuff.
Yeah, like I've been trying to call docking I've been trying to call docking nearly since last year at this point.
A few hours pass. Most of you are sleeping. You're listening to just this pop music, instrumental pop music on loop for like hours until like 6:30 a.m. planet side, or 6:30 GMT, which is Galactic Main Time, which is your ship time.
Greenwich Mean Time too.
Yes. And then at that point, someone picks up and they're like, "Hello, welcome to what is it, Aldenab? What can we do for you?"
We are a medium cruiser vessel, the Dodo. I do sound this dead, by the way.
Yeah.
Requesting docking on planet immediately.
Very well. Please send your papers to us. You have it's just a normal docking clearance. You press a button and it sends all of your ship information and your cargo and all that stuff. You basically just like flip a switch. And then he's like, a few moments of silence, and he's like, "Very well, please proceed to docking bay C3."
C3, cheers, mate. I gotta go kick the pilot. And I put the phone down.
Is there a PO docking bay as well?
Maybe.
So I just stand up, crack my back, and I start going around the ship looking for Richard.
Everyone
Also-
like hears like the cracking and figures like the ship's breaking apart for a second.
I need Richard and I need Jesse right now.
Also, by the way, I think my character has
I
piloting
was in the
skills.
cockpit. I was just sleeping.
You have pilot skills.
I think I did.
Remember
let me
that-
check.
Are you still
Remember
sitting?
that
Are you
Richard-
still sitting in the kitchen eating?
Yes.
Okay. I still.
Wait.
I'm looking-
Remember that Richard sleeps in the cockpit, so he's just like a few feet from you when you do this.
Okay. So yeah, I just pretty much walk up,
Just
shake the back
snoring.
of his. I pretty much walk up and shake the back of his seat.
Yep, you wake up,
He jerks awake because like what?
you see the like
What?
5 o'clock shadow in the red eyes of your captain.
I just look down and say,
What?
"We're cleared to land. Please fucking do
Oh.
it right this second."
He
I
smells
can't
like
handle
beer.
Space.
It smells like stale beer and like cereal.
He just flings his arms up in the air like, thank fucking god.
When you get the docking clearance, there's a thing on your monitor that like gives you information of like where it is and all that kind of stuff, like navigation information. It's stuff that only you really understand.
Yeah, I pretty much tell him the relevant stuff like C3, do it now, make ship fly in that direction.
I just flick a couple switches and then
Okay, give me
everyone feels that.
give me an easy pilot roll. So basically, just do a normal pilot roll, and you're trying to beat a 6.
Bam!
Whoa, God.
Fucking he just aced the roll several times.
God damn.
The fuck?
Like
Well-
everyone's looking down, looking up, and they see the ship landing, and everyone's like,
There we go. I pushed the chat down so we can actually read what happened.
Thank you.
Oh, it's your wild die
I don't.
loaded.
No,
You see the 10?
No.
Or no, do you have 10 on piloting?
I got 10 on piloting, so that was my 10 dice.
It could have been either one, but yeah.
It was
No,
my.
my wild die is 6. I forget. I keep thinking that wild die is 10 for some reason.
No, my piloting exploded, and I've got a +2 bonus from Ace Pilot.
Yeah, if you look at the top of his roll, it says like D10 piloting, D6 wild die, so it calculates that automatically. So, yeah, you grab the pedal and the stick, and you hit a bunch of knobs and things, and you do piloting things, and after it takes like a couple of hours for you to do the piloting routine to actually get down, but about halfway through you break the planet's orbit, and normally at this point your ship would shake wildly and something would inevitably break. In fact, at this point Jesse is just at hand with a wrench, just waiting for something to break.
He's in the bathroom.
I'm still locked in the bathroom, but hold on. I would have woken up once the ship had started moving, and I would have jimmied the door handle. And if I can't...
Jimmy the door handle?
Yeah, jimmy the door
Like Jiggy did.
I've
No, you
never heard of
jimmy
that
something?
term.
You never heard of like jimmying a lock?
I've heard of
No,
Jimmy
I've never heard of
Alon's.
that.
It's like
It's like you wiggle it.
crowbarring it. Anyway,
It's just
yeah,
like solving it.
you're out and about. You've gotten out.
Oh,
I don't need to
okay,
make you
cool.
roll for it.
My pile of textbooks are knocked over.
In that case, I would
no.
go back and turn on the gravity.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's routine to turn off the gravity for
Oh,
piloting.
perfect.
But so it's already off. But you're floating around waiting for something. You're probably strapped in somewhere. In fact, all of you are strapped in somewhere because the most dangerous thing about flying is landing. Normally your ship would shake around, something would break, but amazingly, you almost if you didn't have the viewport, which is blackened a bit so you don't get blinded by the Atmo entry. If you didn't see that, you wouldn't even know that you're landing because Richard is just on the ball here with his landing. It's amazing. You're pretty sure that you're not paying him enough, Tony.
I think we're paying him too much.
And eventually
Pain?
you land. You land at this big complex area in the middle of the desert that is the starport for the city. In the distance, you can see all the lights of the city. It's early in the morning. The sun hasn't quite risen, so you can still see tons of lights and things. And as you're landing, these big double blast doors open horizontally, and you sink down, and you land with pretty much no problem. There's a little thud. And noise happens.
Noise.
Amazing.
Nice.
As you land.
Nice.
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 Nice noise.
Nice.
And we all become
Okay, I think that's
Australians.
enough nice.
In fact, I would say that because of your pilot role, you've made it in time for most of your dihydrogen monoxide to not melt.
Right.
Yes.
Huzzah.
I basically go down to the cargo bay and just start getting ready to offload this stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
you
Tarkus
lower
is
the
already
ramp.
there.
You lower the ramp when you land, and a guy in a gray jumpsuit comes up. He's a customs officer. It says Frank on his name tag, and he's holding a clipboard. And it's offloading ice, right? He walks up to you. He looks down at the clipboard. He's like, ice, right?
Aye. Ice.
Yep. He makes a check mark. He sort of looks around. You might have a look around, just routine inspection.
I just yeah.
Are you
just gesture
smuggling
him in.
anything? He's not asking this, but I'm asking you. Are you smuggling anything at the moment?
No, I just took the ice job. This
Okay.
is pretty much all I'm here for because I
Yeah,
don't want to be here for long.
He waves over a couple of guys in gray jumpsuits as well, and over the next couple hours, they help you load everything off. You've got this cargo loader, this Ripley. Are any of you actually skilled at using it?
Nope.
I have
What's the
piloting skill.
I have. I'm driving if it's related to that at all.
I
It's like
think it's probably driving.
Oh,
I
okay.
have it.
It might be piloting.
I've only got a D6, but I still have it.
I'm gonna say that it's driving.
Okay. All right.
Oh, wow.
Richard
Okay,
just,
so you're
Richard
you're
just
in it.
pushes past.
mhm.
You're not in a risky situation or anything, so you don't really have to roll for it. I was just asking what
Yeah.
who had the skill and stuff.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I got it.
yeah, it doesn't malfunction. You don't drop a crate on anyone, but you don't do it faster than normal or anything like that.
Mm.
You offload the ice, and your plan is just to head to the market and sell it to someone. You don't have like a contact you're
Oh,
bringing
I
it
thought
to.
we did have a contact. That was the implication of having ice.
No, you bought a bunch of ice at APET Prime and you brought it here because you knew that it would be a commodity that you could sell for a decent amount.
I don't know. That sounds like some pretty bad hindsight on the crew's part.
Yeah.
Is there any? All right. Well.
No,
this
it's
is-
it's
wait.
just trading. Like it's just general trading. Like you know that that's a profitable thing because there's an ice trade from APEP to IRA, so you know someone's gonna buy it. So you don't need to like set up a private buy or anything like that.
Okay. Well, I just go to market. I just do the local custom stuff. Basically, I get us registered to sell this shit.
Yep. You already have a license to sell here because you are a citizen.
Wait. Of Ira. I'm from Aldenab.
IRA is the star.
Oh.
Sorry, I meant to say Aldeneb, but
Okay.
you're on Aldeneb.
Okay. So actually, I got my
You have all
medical
your
license
papers
in
and everything
this
like that.
capital city. So I was
That's the
here-
reason they let you land without much problem, other than you having to wait because the infrastructure was down for New Year's. Speaking of which, I forgot to change the date of this little thing. It is now New Year's 2500.
Yay!
Woo, 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 woo.
Nice.
Let me see how much your ship can carry. I forgot to save the ship information, so I have to look it up again. Okay, it has size 8, which means, let's see, where is the trading? Pretty sure that means it can have like 8 units of stuff.
Where is that Google Doc on the planets? I just want to grab that quickly.
I can link it in a second.
Cheers.
So since we're on Aldenab,
It doesn't really have much information on like the fluff and stuff. It's more like quick notes for me.
I know. I just like this planet is a monarchy, isn't it?
Mhm. Yeah, it's run by the Nabi family.
The Navi. I just want to go. I just want to try and offload. I'm gonna try to get this to market. Like I tell everyone else to guard these stuff, sell it off as much as they can, and I'm gonna try and go to a noble house.
Yeah, just give me 1 second before you do that. While
I
figure out
think
how much
we
you
should-
have.
I think we should lie to the people we're selling and saying that it's royal ice.
Royal ice.
We just sell it as slightly higher quality product and bump the price.
Well, you know, rich people are always paying more for like room temperature, water, and things.
Yeah, I
Yes.
mean, I've got a pretty decent persuasion, so I was gonna try and go and basically offload this to a gullible noble for a bit more.
Man,
dollars.
I'm having trouble finding that page that has like the trading rolls on it.
Actually, give me 1 second. I'm just gonna be right back quickly.
I'm absolutely terrible at navigating PDFs.
mm,
There it is. Okay.
what does it say?
Trade goods are measured in cargo spaces of 120 cubic feet or 5 by 5 by 5. Assume that this is equal to 1 unused mod space for ships without the bulk cargo superstructure. Okay, so 1 unused mod space is...
I mean, what we could do while we're here as
Okay, you
well
have
is
7.
like look for new jobs and stuff.
Your
Yeah.
ship has... No, that's a system freighter. Your ship has 4, so you have 4 units of cargo space.
4 units of cargo.
So 4 times 120 cubic feet, basically. but 4 units of I'm gonna say that it's food. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
I'm gonna. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Just wait for Snake to get back.
yeah, he's doing the role. Yeah, Tarkus is just kind of like going with the flow on this one and just seeing how much has changed and how much has not changed really.
So, what was
I'm back.
your like? How did when you left? What was it like? Did you get like kicked out? Was it?
No, he was medevaced out. Basically, after he was injured, some fellow soldiers found him and dragged him to safety. And
Is
then
he on record with the Denabi government as being a rebel, or did he escape notice?
he escaped notice, but just barely.
Okay.
One person who he tried to kill but failed knows about him, but she hasn't reported him because she wants to, like, she's kind of ashamed that she got beaten by this guy and basically wants to kill him herself.
And that's part of the reason I want to get off this planet really goddamn fast. Aside from the fact that I just don't want to be here, I know that he has a past as a rebel on this planet. That's
So
why
you bought your
I'm trying
you
to
bought your
sell it to a fucking noble and get.
yeah you bought your ice at listing price, which is $1,000 per unit, and you have 4 units, so $4,000, and you're hoping to sell it at high or very high demand here. So you're trying to locate someone you can sell it, like a contact you can sell it to a noble house, basically.
Yeah, I use my kind of. I mean, would it be a smarts check, or would I just know like some of the local?
Who has
I think
Streetwise?
that would be a streetwise to find.
Yeah, I thought it'd be streetwise.
What language do they speak here?
They speak Arabic and English and Mandarin Chinese.
Cool. 3 languages that I now
Mandarin.
know.
Does
Tarkus
anyone have...
and Tony, that you both speak Arabic as well.
Okay. I kind of like I don't have my character doesn't have a noticeable accent because he went to a medical school and first lost the accent.
Yeah,
he became
humanity at
kind
this
of
point
formal.
is so intermingled that even if you speak various languages, English is probably your main language. You don't have much of an accent on it, and people are pretty much every ethnicity is here.
No, I'm just gonna roll it.
So the royal family is decidedly Asian.
I could kind of tell that, but like because of the name.
My streetwise.
Wow.
Nice.
The wild dice pulled it off.
Okay, yeah. You talk around the market for a while. What are the rest of you doing while he's searching for someone to offload this ice to?
I would have stayed on the ship trying to fix the gravity so before anybody noticed.
Right now, my character is just kind of looking around town and seeing what's different about the culture.
Yeah, I'm going to do a
I
notice
did
check.
promise you to show you around if we have to fucking stick here for a little bit.
So you're walking around the main market of Al Danab, and it's not destitute, but it's not the best place you've ever been to. There are you can buy pretty much anything in this market, but the state of the houses around them and stuff, it's a lot of adobe brick and things, but very excuse me, very old infrastructure, and the cobble streets aren't looking too good at this point. There are men in gray uniforms, obviously soldiers. They have rifles and things, walking around in groups, harassing shopkeepers and things.
I want to pickpocket one of them.
What kind of role is that?
I guess
That's
stealth.
I'd say stealth.
Actually, can I do a notice check first to see who's kind of like leading the soldiers, or if they've got anything of note on them, so I can point it out?
Yeah, you can make that first.
Okay. All right. Let's see how this turns up as 5.
You notice that they're soldiers, and there's a lot of them, and you're pretty sure that they wouldn't take too kindly to you doing things to them.
Oh.
Okay, make your stealth roll. Not you, clown guy. Make your stealth roll.
All right, let's see. I don't remember how to do this specific
Go to your
roll. This is my
character sheet.
first literal roll.
Yep, it's all good. Click on your character sheet, and then go down to your
Skills.
next to stealth. On the very right, next to modifiers, you see a little dice icon.
Ah, here it is.
Just click on that. Oh
Ouch.
God. Okay. So you're
No.
walking by. Are you dressed as a clown at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
Your shoes just go squeak.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I'm actually a stealthy clown. I have the D8.
Yeah.
Why do you have
Normally,
D8 in stealth?
normally, you know, you like distract people by your garb while you sleight of hand them, but you make the mistake of trying it with a rather large group, and you're stealing from the soldiers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You slip a hand in his pocket, and one of his buddies grabs your arm and he says, "What are you doing?"
I think it might be best to say I was trying to fondle him at this point.
Make
I'm just
persuasion
I'm just
at a -2.
I'm just talking around the market, and I see this happen, and I want to try and back him up.
So what to do a modified roll? You just put -2 on your. Oh, you don't have persuasion, do you?
I don't. I have piloting,
can I-
notice, investigation.
Can I back him up on this? Like, I'm talking, and then I just see this happen, and I want to run over and
What do you
help.
say? What are you doing, like, to help him?
I run over, and I basically, like, pull him by the scruff of the neck away from the guard, and they just hurriedly, in Arabic, just start saying, no, he's a friend of mine, I'm his carer.
He's touched in the head.
Yeah,
That kind
basically.
of thing?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a persuade roll. He's dressed as a clown. I'm not gonna give you a -2.
Okay.
Yeah, you just barely, like, the guy is obviously pissed off, and these guys have a bit of a, like...
I know the guards on this place are touchy, so I'm picking my words very
Yeah,
carefully and trying
they really like to beat people down if they have any kind of cause to.
like, I'm making myself small, I'm kind of hunching myself over, I'm trying to just make it appear as fucking pathetic as possible to try and excuse it.
He kicks you pretty hard, like, in the gut, and one of his buddies, like, grabs him by the arm and pulls him back. He's like, "Hey, it's not worth it." And he's just they all just sort of laugh at you. One of them spits on you, and then they move on.
Oh,
I pick myself up, just kind of like dust myself up, and I just look at Mugren and say, "Okay, the people on this planet don't fuck around. Pick an easier mark next time, or not at all." Now, if you don't mind, I'm trying to sell ice to an idiot.
At this point, one of the shopkeepers runs over to you, and she's like, "Are you all right? Did they hurt you too much?" And she's like checking you over.
I'm still does was always saying, no, I was a student in this bloody city, I know how it is.
And she's like, "Did you say you were offloading ice?"
Yep.
Well, my sister, she works in one of the noble houses. She could point you in the right direction if you know, if that's what you're looking for.
Certainly. I'd love to take you up on that.
Yeah. So she points you out to this red hair. Oh, I think Lynch dropped.
Oh.
Son of a bitch.
You back? Did you
Yeah,
miss
I'm
anything? Like, did I cut out, or did you just? at the end there.
No, I died out.
What was the last thing you heard?
Did you say you were selling ice?
Ah, okay.
Okay, that wasn't.
Yeah, that you didn't really miss
That
that.
wasn't that long.
She points you out to her sister, which they're both red-haired, and she takes you down a few city blocks. It takes you about 10 minutes to walk there. You've got, I guess Lone Stag is still in the cargo lifter, like with all this stuff.
I'm imagining I left the ice under the guard of Tarkus.
Actually, yeah. How are you transporting the ice? Do you have it with you, or are you just making contacts at this point? Did you leave it at the ship, or?
I think we moved it to market to sell it to just basically any takers. Like, I set up a tarp, kept it in the shade as best I could.
Okay. So it's currently who's looking after it while you're going with this woman? Who is guarding the ice? I assume you're Tarkus would.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm guarding the ice. I'm just kind of like taking in the heat as well. Like actually, mine, it brings me back. So it's just like, so
He's
yeah,
got that
that's
intimidating blade arm.
Feels like
Yeah.
home to you. Is that blade arm? Is it hidden or is it pretty obvious?
He tries to hide under a coat. But
if you see his skin, is it pretty obvious?
yeah, it's fairly obvious. So it's like if you got if you wear a long sleeve shirt and you've got a scar on there, it's kind of like that basically.
Okay. So she leads Tony and whoever's with him. Who is with him? I should ask.
Any takers?
Or is he going alone?
I mean, I'm the pilot, so I should probably stay with the ship.
Okay, so you and Jesse are both staying with the ship. What about Mugarand?
I think I'm still with Snaker.
Okay, so the two of you, Tarkus is with the ice. The two of you follow her along. Eventually takes you to this gated community with a bunch of much better adobe houses that are still not that great, but they're definitely better quality than the rest of the city. And she leads you to a one of them that has a garden. It's like several it's 2 stories. It has like a balcony on part of it, and you walk through a garden. She takes you to through a side entrance, and holds a finger over her mouth. And you know that nobles pretty much have the power to behead you here. They're pretty powerful, so you don't want to piss them off.
Yeah, I've done a pretty good job so far of not stepping on toes.
And she tells you to wait. She tells you to wait there at the back door. It's basically like an entrance to the kitchen.
Okay, so I just kind of take Mugrand aside while I'm waiting and just explain the custom that you don't anger these people. They're fucking angry as shit most of the time.
And it takes her a while to come back. What do you two do while you wait?
I basically tell Mugrand about the planet, regardless of whether he's listening or not.
Do you listen?
I only half listen.
What do you you have the curious hindrance. So what are you curious about right now about this house?
Right now I'm wondering what would happen if I were to go sneak into one of their offices and start looking through their drawers.
Do you want to do that?
I don't know if that's the best idea, to be honest.
Okay. We'll say that for now you're pretty you're preoccupied enough by Tony talking that you just you don't want him to get kicked again as well. And then eventually she comes back and she tells you that she gives you a little thumbs up, but she's still kind of sheepish about the whole thing. And she's like, they've agreed. We're running a little bit low on ice at the moment, and they've agreed to buy it from you at the normal listing price of. And then she gives you a price value and stuff. And it's high demand, so it's pretty good. It's basically what you were looking for.
I don't.
It'll equate to about 3,000 in profit.
I think you should maybe haggle and say the price is a little bit higher.
What is your response to her when she says this?
I've been kicked in the stomach today by the army, but I am stubborn, and I was so annoyed waiting that I am going to try and haggle, but I'm going to try and pussyfoot the issue a bit. I just basically go, oh, they're having problems on Apex Prime at the moment getting ice out here. It's demands up both ways, and I'm going to try and roll persuasion on this.
All right, give me a roll.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
4.
So she sort of like pulls at her collar a little bit nervously, and she's like, I really can't. If I go back in there and I try to tell him about that, you know what will happen to me. You look like you're from here.
I kind of sympathize with that and go, okay. I just cut my losses when I realize that these people can fucking behead me.
And then she tells you to have the ice here by it's currently I'd say about 11 o'clock in the morning. She says have the ice here by the afternoon and I'll pay you.
I nod and I just start heading back the way we came. I don't have a comm, so I can't exactly call Tarkus up and tell him to start moving it. So I just basically do a very quick walk back.
Yeah, I mean, you're only about 10 minutes away, so it's not too bad. But cutting back to Jesse and Richard, what are you guys doing?
I'm trying to fix
Routine
that gravity.
maintenance.
I'm trying to fix that gravity problem before anybody actually notices.
All right, you're down in like the bowels of the ship, which is kind of your home, and there's cobwebs everywhere, and just it's a mess. You try to keep it clean, but you're pretty sure something breeds somewhere down here, and you just can't find what it is.
Can't get rid of those damn space sheep.
Yeah, and give me I guess an engineering roll.
Engineering or repair?
Oh, is repair a thing? I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
not very used to skills yet.
Yeah, I
Give
think
me
it's
a
repair.
Ooh.
Yeah. You what was wrong with it, and what do you do?
So there was a paper airplane stuck in one of the main gravity balancers, and it was interfering with some of the electrical currents. So I had to delicately remove the plane with a rubber glove and
Can we assume that it's
make
the
sure it
same
works.
plane that got sucked up by the life support before?
Looking around, there's actually quite a few just paper airplanes around here from all the sticky notes that I've just folded up. So it could have been any number of ones.
We
Yeah,
actually lose money on the amount of wasted fucking sticky notes.
Basically,
I keep it on inventory.
your ship is old. Like it's pretty run down, and you're at the point where you're doing your best just to keep everything patched together until you have enough money to inevitably repair things that you can't patch together. And this is one of those times where you're really worried that there's a part that you'll have to buy, but you manage to stave off the inevitable rundown of the ship.
Yeah, and then I noticed the reason the gravity wasn't working correctly so much is because the paper airplane was acting as a conduit to let the electricity go from one place to another. But paper airplanes don't make for good
Conductors.
conductors. So I replace it with a bent paper clip.
Amazing.
Yep. And somehow you turn off the. I mean, you're probably wearing like non-conductive gloves.
Oh yeah, I'm decked out.
Yeah, so you don't even need to turn off the energy flow or anything. You just do that, and you wait a moment, and you're like, please, God, please, don't explode or anything. And everything just seems to be working fine. It does take you a couple of hours to find the problem and do everything. What about Richard? What are you doing?
Routine maintenance, just like double checking with everything, making sure it's all in running condition and nothing's gonna fuck up when I try to jump.
Yep. Everything seems to be in working order, and as far as the cockpit goes, you would ask the AI about system like diagnostics and stuff, but you have no idea how to do that.
It's fine, I can navigate myself. I'm old school.
Yeah,
Well-
you
He
just
uses paper star charts to work
yeah,
with.
that's right.
At one point, I would have come back up, gone to the AI room, and put in the command for system diagnostics.
It's not looking good. It's the same as it was like a week ago, but there's
It's not worse than it was a week ago.
yeah, it's about the same. Like I said, it's not looking good. It's it's sort
I'm
of
just
color
looking
coded.
for broken shit.
Yeah, it's sort of color coded with like green being good and red being bad. There's a lot of yellow.
I'll pick out a yellow and try to go fix
Yeah,
it.
you add it to your list and then you scuttle off to wherever
Exactly.
the issue is. And that's basically your life on the ship. That's what you do.
That's why nobody sees me.
Yeah, most of it, like the area that you guys actually live on the ship is pretty small, but the actual ship itself is very big, and most of it is just like engines and like pipes and like air conditioning and all that kind of stuff. All things you would imagine would be on a spaceship. And also the ship is powered by a nuclear reactor. So actually,
Fission or fusion?
it's a fission reactor. I should have said.
Oh god, that's horrendous.
And yeah, none of you really know how it works. Jesse kind of knows how to fix it, but and how to make it not leak radiation.
Yep.
But you don't really know how it works.
Nope. Got to get that intelligence to D10 instead of D8.
Oh, excuse me.
I just think we're paying 25 million for this thing.
I should admit, it's not really an issue of your smarts. It's just that your knowledge, like, you need like a degree to know about fission reactors.
Well,
Gotcha.
it's literally fucking
Nuclear
physics.
science.
Okay, so yeah, you, Richard spends a couple of hours relaxing with his feet kicked up in the cockpit. You spend a couple of hours doing ship repair. Tarkus, you're just in the market. You're guarding the ice. I assume you have like a tarp over it or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's in the shade, so
But even then, it's not like gold or something. It's just water that's frozen.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
even then, it's not like this is a desert planet, but it's still the future. People have access to water and things in most of the
Yeah.
areas.
I've always had access
I-
to water.
Yes, you do.
How much water? Well, how much ice is there?
There is 4 times 120 cubic feet of it.
You what?
One
So 400.
one cargo. Okay, so how the trade works? One cargo space, of which you have 4, because it's how many extra mod slots you have on your ship that you're not using. However many cargo spaces you have, that's how much cargo you can get, and each one space is 120 cubic feet. So,
Fuckload of ice.
which is 5 feet by 5 feet by 5 feet.
Wait, what? That's a cubic feet.
Yes.
So we
I
have.
wish it was in metric.
Wait, so we have 4. Hang on. So we have 400. We have 120 cubic feet
times 4, and that's how much cargo
times 4,
space
which
is.
is 480 cubic feet. So
It's like 20 by 20 by 20 is your cargo bay, I would say, something like that. Except it's not all like stacked up. It's more like long ways going back into
it's
the.
it's
rear of the
it's
ship.
13.6 cubic meters.
But what matters to you is that it's $3,000 in profit worth of
Yeah.
ice.
I'm just heading back now to tell Tarkus to start moving this shit to a noble house.
Yeah, you don't have too much problem, Tarkus, with
Yeah.
guarding it. occasionally you kind of have to like tell some kids off, maybe kick a dog or something. If you do that,
We've
No,
got almost 14 meters worth.
what's Tarkus like? What's his personality like?
he's quite an arrogant sort of person, really. Like he's got a very high opinion of himself.
What does that
despite-
stem from?
Basically, him being a jackass.
Is he nobility? Is he?
He was former nobility. Like he was tied to like basically in the in that rebellion that failed. Some nobles did join in with it, but obviously to try and get something out of it. But obviously it failed.
So he has some like formal combat training then.
Yeah, he's got some decent fighting skills on him. Obviously the injuries.
He was trained by like someone in his house that's
yeah,
that for the family.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so do you have a gun?
Yes, I have. I'll just double check this. I got it written down.
I know you have your arm blade, but
Yeah, I have a gyrojet pistol.
okay, do you just have that like on your belt or something?
Yes.
It's legal in Aldenab for citizens to be carrying firearms and stuff, and you have your papers on you, so you're not too worried about like someone.
Yeah.
But the rest of you probably are hiding your weapons.
The only weapon I have is
Or
a
you haven't carried
survival
them.
knife, but I'm not too sure about how much of a problem it would be to carry that around.
Well, you're a citizen as well.
Oh,
I'm hiding my gun in my sock.
Okay.
That's quite difficult to get to.
Well, as long as I don't have to do a quick draw, I'll be
He's-
fine.
He's a clown. He's dexterous. He can fit in those tiny cars.
I do notice that he's got an odd gait, like one shoe just slams down harder than the other, but I don't draw attention to it.
And you guys, as you're walking back, get a lot of odd looks, especially Muggerend. Like, the kids are either scared of you or they're, like, excited to see you and they run up. And But what do you do like, when people walk up to you?
I pull out a little thing of juggling, little juggling balls, and I'll start juggling while walking at the same time, casually.
Yeah, you eventually get a group of kids following you. And even people like tip you a little bit. They give you a few money. You make about $5 on the way to on the way back.
Wow, that's actually not bad.
Yeah. Although money here is fairly inflated, so. But it's still decent. It's still galactic credit.
Yeah.
As he starts building a crowd of kids, I build up the pace and like get a few feet ahead of him.
I'm just looking smug at the fact that we've even got a crowd. Like, see that guy? I'm with him.
Yeah, you eventually get back to Tarkus. What do you do?
I just walk up, Tarkus.
Yeah.
We've got a buyer. I start like giving down directions and say, right, noble family. Well, you know about fucking nobles. You know not to piss them off.
Oh, do I ever? Believe me, I am better than those
No.
clouds.
I said you know not to piss them off. I also know that you know how to piss them off.
Yeah. Indeed, that is true. I am truly the best at that.
What is your experience with the noble families of Aldenab been, Tony?
I'm from I grew up in a small kind of desert commune. It was built near a quarry, so yeah, we were basically a very working class village. And then when I had a basic education there and then moved to the city. So at first I romanticized nobles because that's what people in my village were like. Then I actually met them, and it was quite shattering to realize that most of them will not give you the time of day. So I kind of have an icy feeling towards nobles. Like, my character's quite naive, but I just don't like them because they would not give me the time of day when I turned up in the capital to get my medical degree.
Right.
So I know it's best to keep a healthy distance, but I also know that if one of them addresses you, utmost respect.
What? How do you guys transport the ice, which is starting to melt?
Don't we have like a dolly or some such?
Yeah, I would say that you have some kind of like powered vehicle that the customs lent to you.
Mm. So yeah, I just tell Tarkus to start loading up, and I start helping him navigate the streets towards the noble house.
Yeah.
Takes you about 30 minutes to load all of the ice onto it, and then start moving it. And you're considerably slower because it's a pretty slow vehicle to get there. You were kind of power walking back and forth between the two. That's why it only took you about 10 minutes. Takes you about twice that maybe to get there with the dolly, and you can't take the same direct route because it can't handle like you kind of went through a lot of like small alleyways that were very steep inclines and things. Now you're having to take more of the main street. So you wind your way around towards the gated community where you were at. Eventually, you make it there just fine. People are watching the clown, do tricks on the trolley. Maybe he stands on his head or something.
I just imagine he's like doing his old act while standing on the ice with perfect balance.
Yep. Once you get to the gated community, though, they stop following you and they sort of like trail off away from you. No one passes the gate except for you, and there's no guard there or anything. They just sort of are conditioned at this point just to avoid this area. Yeah, and then you make it up to the estate. You pull over to the side kitchen area. The woman is still waiting there. Her name is fuck. I had a name. We'll just call her Rachel. Her name is Rachel. It's redhead Rachel. And yeah, she sees it. She nods to you. And she starts counting out credits, which are like coins, basically. They're just coins. And yeah, you get 4,000 credits worth of it.
I just start divvying
Is
that
that
out
Wait,
equally.
credits or dollars?
$8.
Oh wait, I can't. Help me out here.
Hmm?
I just take
What?
4,000. How do we split this?
4,000 divided by 5 is 8.
Well, keep in mind,
No, sorry, 800.
it's your money. You pay them a salary, so you do it. You divide it up however you want. They work for you.
Yeah, but I like to be fair on this, so I divvy up the loot equally.
It's
Did you want to
800.
give half of that to rent though, or
Oh,
not rent? But
Yeah, that's what I suggest. So
Yeah,
you divvy
you have
it up, and
a.
then half of that goes towards the monthly.
You need to
So
make
400 each, and
Yeah.
be a little bit.
400 each and 2,000 into payment.
Yep.
that's pretty good.
So now I have
You said
800
200 each?
quid.
Okay, so your loan
Yeah,
is
mine's-
like a 20-year thing, and you need to pay about 10,000 a month.
Christ.
Shit.
Oh god. Sorry, how much money was it that was gained?
4,000.
4,000.
That is.
No, how much between us was it again?
So
shared.
it was 800, but I take away half of each to put it into
Oh, okay.
monthly payment.
But keep in mind, you're,
okay,
you're at
400.
the beginning of the month. You paid last month already. You paid it yesterday.
Okay.
Okay.
In which case, everyone gets the full 800.
So on the 31st, you owe $20,833.
All right, so we're up to 800. Damn.
The idea is
I-
paying off 25 million in 20 years.
That gives me $900 to play around with. Very good.
Yeah, well, good luck finding stuff.
I
Yay!
just kind of start tallying that up in my head and realize I don't want to be working off this ship for 20 years of my life.
So, who's the money guy? Who keeps track of the funds and all that stuff?
Please don't make it me. I'll just capture
Who's-
stuff.
Who's the most trustworthy?
I think we should give it to the clown.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably not.
And out of character, I want to ask who's actually doing that stuff.
I mean, I can do it if you guys want.
We can give it to Jesse.
We are
I'm
bookie.
okay with that.
Mm.
I think Jesse's a fuckabout, but I do actually trust him in character.
Be our bookie.
Okay. So
Alright.
just keep like a note thing.
Yep.
So tell me again how you're dividing the money.
Well, I suggested that we split it equally. Like, that's my kind of thing on... That's my idea on loot. I don't get paid
Okay.
any more than my subordinates.
Pretty good deal for them.
Yeah, we get 800 each. And how much is rent due? 10,000.
Yeah.
10,000 on the 31st.
Okay. And today's the 1st.
And you also pay a regular maintenance, which is, we'll say 1,000.
All right, so that's like 11,000.
So you don't. That's something you don't have to pay, but things go wrong if you don't pay it.
Right.
It could go wrong if we don't pay the 10
Cool.
grand either.
Yes.
Okay, keeping track.
There are such things as like getting extensions on it and stuff like that, but you don't want to try to do that too much.
So I just think, okay, that job here is done. Like, I just pretty much move the ice and then get out of the gated community as quickly as possible, and I start wondering about where do I get my next job.
I go along with you
Yeah.
for this.
I just start talking with Tarkus, like, so you ran about with the rebels here, right?
Yes, that's correct. Of course, they weren't as brilliant as I was, but maybe a couple of them are still running around somewhere. But
Do the rebels have a name?
not formally. I'm saying this in character as well. I don't know
Oh,
I'm
why.
gonna say I ask him that, like, do they have a name? What's Cell?
It's called like Denob Libre or something like that.
Yeah.
Knob Libre.
Just something that came up. Unless you have something better.
Not really. It wasn't really like formally named as far as Tarkus could gather. Really, it's sort of like when you get scattered groups, all kind of like wanting the same thing, so they kind of join for a little bit, but then there's not really too much real unity between them. It was kind of like that.
I don't.
And just called the rebels.
I just tell them, look, I want to string jobs together planet to planet, so if I can't get anything legal here, can you get in touch with a few of your old rebel buddies? Get something as we leave planet.
Oh, it's a possibility. There's a possibility. Not sure if they'll
You
be
haven't,
pleased to see me.
You haven't heard from your old gang for years, like ever since you left the planet, so you have no idea
Yeah.
if they're still about. You have methods for getting in contact with them, but you have no idea that their current situation.
Nah.
I just say, well, but I'm going to check the legal channels first, obviously.
Okay, so
Of course.
what kind of jobs are you partial to with the dodo?
I'm kind of like new to this, so I take whatever doesn't seem too bad. Like,
Okay.
people smuggling. I guess I wouldn't mind using it as an attack ship if needed, but
Question: what is ore mining like? Are there mining vessels?
Yes. Your ship is not fit to mine, but it is fit to help like transport ore and that kind of thing. And they outsource to small traders like you all the time to transport ores and things. So I think Ira has an asteroid belt. No, it does not. But it does have a gas giant. Ira 4 is a gas giant with a research station orbiting it. And as part of that research station, they have a lot. Oftentimes, they have transport jobs and things. But the way that you usually get jobs, unless you're just doing straight up trading, which is what you just did, which you can do, like you can search for prices and things. But what you do normally is you check the grid for job postings, which is pretty much the only thing that it's good for, really. Like you can get news out of it, but it's awful.
Mm.
So you can check the grid. You can do streetwise to check prices. And do stuff like that.
I don't have streetwise, so I'm pretty much just gonna head back to the ship at this point and just tell
Yeah.
I tell Jesse and
Sorry,
Richard
checking prices for what?
that's checking
supply and
prices
demand.
for trade. I go back to the ship and I tell you two to check the grid for
Perhaps not.
jobs.
No.
Okay. So
yeah,
the way that I'm going to
I'll
do this is that I will give you a price for every raise that you get on a streetwise roll. You didn't get any I'll say that you can get at least one price no matter what.
Mm.
Technology has a very high demand here. So if you were to sell technology goods, you would get 200%.
All right, guys, I know what to do. We should sell the AI.
The moment he suggests, I just turn and look at him and go, "We need that thing."
No, we don't need it.
No, I think we need it. I really think we need this.
You need it.
Need it.
Look,
Your AI is also unbelievably expensive, so to get a new one would be not something you could do, really.
It would
So-
cost more than the ship, probably.
It's a large portion of what you're paying for your ship is the AI.
So is there a something I can contact either through my comlink or maybe on the internet for job postings?
Yeah,
grid.
Cody said the grid has job postings, so I'm telling you to
Oh,
go
yeah.
to do
Yes.
do computer stuff
Yeah.
and find us work in this sector or around it.
You need a computer?
So you can either go to you need a computer roll. You either go to the comm center in your cockpit, or you talk to what did we decide your AI's name is?
I'll go talk to Hex.
Hex. Yeah. You still need to make a computer rolls either way.
Oh,
Go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you type. What do you type in?
Let's see here. I type in cargo ship hauling jobs.
Yep. You wait about 2 minutes. There's just some beeping and stuff. You know that it's working. Anybody else wouldn't even notice a difference, but you know that something is being cycled. And then a printout comes, like a one of those print rolls, like shoots out a bunch of information on like some job listings and stuff.
Nice.
The ones that catch your eye are there's a bunch of like routine, just moving cargo and like basically like bus work, just transporting people. And you can pretty much always do that in a system for minimal profit. You won't make much, but you might be able to keep your head above water as far as your loan goes. But you probably won't be able to make much above it. But the ones that catch your eyes are transport from Aldeneb to the Ira 4 station, which is just called Ira 4 station, because I can't think of a name right now. Maybe it'll have a name later.
Near the gas giant.
Yes. It is on the edge of the system. There is a gas giant that has a station, small space station surrounding it.
Okay.
They're just a like standard research outpost. Transporting one of their like a group of their scientists there. You can transport people, but it's not very comfortable because your cargo bay doesn't have seats or anything.
Right.
So for long journeys, it's not really your thing at the moment, unless you were to install like some seating arrangements and stuff.
can I just go and buy some deck chairs?
You could, yeah.
I might go and do
Don't have
that.
I think they might slide around a bit.
The
You know,
problem,
just-
It'll be fine.
no, the problem is just that they don't have places to sleep.
No, we'll just buy a bunch of mattresses.
I think I'm gonna start sleeping in the escape pod. Actually,
We have an escape pod?
Yes, you do.
Okay. This is just like one day someone decides to be a dick and just hits the fucking buttons like, bye.
Yeah.
It's not like a Firefly escape pod where it's like its own ship that you can break and enter, or that you can go in and Atmo and then stuff with it. It's just for emergencies. Like it just has a couch that you can strap to.
Amazing.
for
Like, does it
unless
have
your
like a
ship is
beacon?
gonna blow up or something.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
also-
but I bet a signal beacon and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, it has a comm thing, but it's not as good as the one in your ship.
Yeah.
But so transporting people to the Ira 4 station.
Yes, there is that one, and then there's a job clearing some possible rebel for it's kind of like an open
Rebel scum!
wanted thing, like
Oh.
a wanted board. It has a bunch of rebels on it.
Oh.
And there is, let's see, let me get my notes on.
Well, that job interests me.
Oh, and there's a few jobs for like escorting ships, like trade ships, trade vessels. Basically, your type of ship. There's jobs for transporting those things.
That's kind of, I don't. Is it common for freighters to escort freighters?
Not really, but your ship is like a an interplanetary vessel. Like it's made for long voyages. It's made for self-sufficiency.
Mm.
It's more like it's offers to escort inter-system ships that don't have their own guns and things.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah, what
Imagine
kind of
we're
guns?
all- Oh, we
What
have
kind of
gun?
heavy lasers.
You have
Ah.
you have like twin. They're linked heavy lasers,
Mm.
I imagine. Hang on.
and they're big and they do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But you're not fitted like a regular escort vessel.
I think when we get enough money or spare cash, we should fit in a turret on the top or bottom.
Well, we've got
Yeah,
like...
what are you guys doing right now? You get this thing printed off, and then what do you do with
Yeah.
it?
I'm just sitting here reading it.
Okay, do you show it to everybody?
Not until I hear all the specifics.
Mm.
That's
Um,
that's the things that pop out at you. There's a bunch of listings for
Alright.
trading and things.
In that case, I take the entire thing, fold it into a paper airplane, and then go look for Tony.
Yeah, I just basically get back to the ship
You guys
and I'm just
reconvene to
greeted
the
with
mess
this.
hall?
I get back to the ship and I'm just greeted by the sight of him holding a paper airplane, and I don't
No,
even try.
you're greeted by one bopping you on the nose.
Wait, Snaker, do you know what you should do?
What should I do?
You should try and roll to set the paper airplane on fire with your elemental powers.
That's got job
Yeah.
listings on it. I'm not setting it on fire.
Not yet. Anyway.
Not yet.
You don't know that, though. Oh, no,
Anyway.
yeah, I would say job listings. Here you go. And then
Yeah.
just gently toss it at you.
It hits me on the nose. I just catch it before it hits the ground, open it up, and I'm like,
Jesse smells of engine grease and sweat, and Tony smells of sand and sweat.
Oh, by the way, there's tons of grease smudges all over that paper. And it's like,
Lovely.
it's not entirely printed
None of you have
correctly.
had a shower for a week. So
I just look up at Jesse and just say, "Well,
You're
I'm
not
glad
really-
to." I look up at Jesse and say, "I'm glad to hear it's grease."
Oh,
Oh. Oh.
But something about the printed up paper, though. You know how when your printer's fucked up, the letters aren't like evenly matched, and sometimes it looks like there's two letters on top of each other? Yeah, that's the entire paper.
the thing is,
God, fucking
your ship has a shower, but it's currently out of commission. And Jesse's priority list, it's not high on the list.
Oh,
Yes.
well, you do realize that I do clean myself, right? I can conjure water up at will, so I take care of that.
but it's still not the same as like
I
taking
know.
a full-on shower.
I'm,
My character bathed himself with the melted water from the ice.
You were kind of looking forward to a shower when you landed here, really.
so I just kind of go, well, Tarkus wants to go on the rebel hunt.
Yes.
Yeah, what do you
tried to
guys-
I
prove my
imagine I take a
skills.
little while to deliberate.
What do you guys say? Like you read out the list, and then what do you guys talk about?
I decide. I decide that I want to try my hand at action, if only because I've been on this job for a couple of months and I want to know how to handle myself. So I kind of agree with Tarkus on the rebel hunt, and besides, they kind of made my planet a shithole, in my opinion.
Tarkus, do you recognize anyone that's on the list?
One of the names that pops up rings a bell. Never met him personally, but heard a lot about. But nothing. But yeah, haven't met him personally, so he wouldn't know me.
I kind of go around the ship getting everyone's votes. So what does everyone think with these free jobs?
What are our shields like? Do we have shields? Is this a thing? Or do we just have like
Shields.
So we basically we just have a hull.
Okay, so I guess we're kind of like in the. We call it.
Oh,
Okay.
actually, yeah, I call
Your ship
everyone
does
to
have
the
deflector screens.
I call everyone to the kitchen area, basically. Team meeting, everyone. Chop chop.
I'm
Don't
gonna
chop me.
I'm gonna take the ship stats and I'm gonna put them into Roll20 so I have them as a reference. Just give me one
You
second.
just make it into a handout, I guess.
Now, everyone, there's this paper here. There's nothing on it yet, but soon there will be.
When a skill is attributed to a attribute, what does that actually mean?
When you're leveling up, if a skill is below an attribute, you can raise that and another skill below an attribute. If the skill is above the attribute, you can only raise that one skill.
I see.
It's basically like ease of leveling up.
So you can easier to balance than it is to raise.
Pretty much. Like, you can only upgrade attributes very slowly.
Oh wait, can I actually upgrade an attribute right now?
No, not until you get to an advance,
All right.
like 5 experience.
Yeah, how much experience do we get for transporting ice?
You get none.
Right.
Experience is said you give experience out at the end of every session.
Yeah.
Typical amount is like 2 for a regular session.
It's 2 to 3. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 if you if you wrap up like a plot arc or do something pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah. For significant things, you get 3.
But anyway, I just kind of go. My vote's on the rebels, on the rebel hunt. I want to see what we can do.
Oh.
And then I throw a note that says "Freighter light" at everyone.
Freighter light.
Remaining
Everyone's
mods.
mind is blown.
Yeah, the mods are your cargo space. So you probably don't want to edit with that unless you don't want to ever transport cargo again, which is what your ship is for.
Oh, we have twin-linked heavy lasers.
Well, the rebel hunt is on the planet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
My vote is on that
Well,
because
you don't know where they are really. You just have a list.
Mm.
So
Oh God, we have to.
the guy that you recognize, his name is Iman Rasul. Which I will.
Man, Russell.
What does he look
So
like?
we
Iman Rasul.
Oh, what, oh, you're asking me? Like,
Yeah.
what does he look like? Well, basically, he's like short-haired, quite sort of tall, broad shoulders. He's
Is he
got a
an old
hook forehead.
friend of yours?
No, not friends. but he's got like Tarkus heard murmurings about a guy with a hook for a hand, who was quite the sort of charismatic, dangerous type of guy.
It reminds me of Beard from Stalker.
And what else? He just had a way with words and like getting the crowds all fired up. Obviously, since Tarkus had his own sort of crowd and they were all like interested in joining the rebellion anyway,
Right.
they never really had too much contact with that sort of side of the faction.
So your ship actually does have shields. It has deflector screens. They work against ballistics, but they don't work against lasers.
It does say shields. After planetary sensor suite, it says shields.
Oh, I'm looking at deflector screens. Shields.
We have both. It says deflector
Yes, I know.
screens.
I know. Yeah, I'm reading
shields.
shields right now. Yeah, so you have shields, like general shields, and you have deflector screens for ballistics.
So shields deflect the lasers and screens do the
Yeah,
ballistics.
so you're not too bad.
So we could do space combat if it came to it.
Speaking of space combat, I think if we ever see anyone that looks like they can't defend themselves, I think we should raid them.
We're not fucking pirates.
We need
Yeah.
the money.
If we're desperate, but right now I'm thinking the rebel hunt. Let's just focus on how we can make some scratch right now.
Remember your edges and hindrances.
I'm heroic, and I see dealing with the rebels as a good thing.
Yeah.
And I'm
you-
stubborn, so I'm dead set on that job.
And you're not too keen on piracy either.
I have no strong feelings one way or another. I'm just a fucking ace pilot.
You have more. You have some moral leanings, and piracy is not in the direction you would want to lean.
My character supports piracy, as well as theft.
What about the rest of you? How do you feel about like morally not so great jobs?
Tarkus kind of sees them as like challenges, ways to prove himself worthy of being the greatest in the universe. He doesn't really care like how he does it as long as he gets that opportunity.
Gotcha.
For Jesse, it's less about what they're doing, but who they're doing it against or for. So, like, if they're sent to genocide some people, yeah, I'd be okay with that if it's for the right people against the right people.
Gotcha.
Like, Richard isn't a stranger to these kind of things. He just prefers not to do it anymore. What is that noise?
Oh,
That
pouring some water.
is some, yeah.
Someone gets
High
up.
definition pouring.
Someone gets up from the mess hall table to go to the water cooler and get themselves a little drink.
I refill it a bit.
How long are we going today, by the way?
I don't mind.
I'm fine for keep going.
Yeah, I'm fine for
I'm
a little
down.
bit more.
You mind if we take a short break so I can eat something?
No problem.
Sure.
No. Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I think I might actually end up ordering Chinese food if we take a break.
Okay, let's take like a 10, 20-minute break.
Wait, shit, I have no money. Never mind.
Okay.